And in 2012, Hurricane Sandy hit New York City. I live on the 13th floor of a 17th floor building, and I remember when the power went out, we had to help people, especially elderly people who had trouble walking up and down 17 flights of stairs in the dark. And in some ways that was really powerful to see people coming together. For example, my family was lucky that we had relatives in Brooklyn, and so we could stay with them while we waited for things to recover. And so we left Manhattan for higher ground. And I remember on the drive over, we saw the whole city stripped of its power, and it was eerie. The traffic lights had gone dark. The next year, I started high school on the Lower East Side, right by the East River. And I heard stories from the year above me at my high school about how the whole building had flooded during the hurricane, and how the students had to move to another school until they repaired the damage. And it was a fable that was deeply embedded into our school culture. People still talked about it years after. Later, I learned of how devastated the public housing had been in that neighborhood, with families in the dark, flooded building, no power, and no place to go. And there still is no government plan for when the next flood comes. And even still, I hear about families who haven't recovered from Hurricane Sandy. I hear the story of the woman in the Rockaways who has invested all of her wealth in the world into a house so that she could have something to give to her son as his inheritance. And after Hurricane Sandy, all of her wealth in the world was gone, destroyed. She lost everything. Last spring, I went with some students from my college to Puerto Rico to work with people on the island on rebuilding what FEMA had left unfixed. I remember every day on the way to the work site, we'd drive past darkened street lights, traffic lights, power lines that had collapsed on the side, and I remember this spray-painted mural on the side of the road of a darkened light bulb and a sentence that read in black letters, "Alturas de lirios, cuatro calles sin luz, hasta cuándo?" Translated, the height of the lilies, 4 streets without light. For how much longer? For how much longer? How much longer are we going to let politicians tell us that natural gas is a bridge fuel as they build new plants with 40-year lifespans? Lifespans that far outlive the 12-year deadline the UN has given us to stop the use of fossil fuels. For how much longer are we going to let the government turn its back on Puerto Rico, on Standing Rock, on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, on the south side of Providence, Rhode Island? How much longer until Puerto Rico and New York recover from Hurricane Sandy, Maria, Irma, etc.? For how much longer are we going to worry about the water we drink, or the air we breathe, or whether our homes are going to be destroyed? For how much longer is the California government going to force incarcerated people to put out fires for $1 an hour? For how much longer are we going to keep out climate refugees? For how much longer are we going to keep burning fossil fuels? Enough is enough is enough is enough. We need politicians who can hear the call. It's time to get fossil fuel money out of politics. And if the Democratic Party is going to be a champion of climate, we need a Green New Deal. We need the DNC to listen to people and not fossil fuel money. We need politicians who care about working class people who live in areas that are the most hit by fossil fuel pollution and are the hardest hit by fossil fuel climate disasters. We need politicians who are going to listen because we aren't going anywhere. Thank you.